George Wells, who was an English writer and was also known as the father of science fiction, was not exaggerating when he said, and I quote, "Human history becomes more and more a race between education and catastrophe," unquote. There is no better investment in prosperity, sustainability, and security than educating our very own young people of Fiji. Distinguished guests, respected panel of judges, fellow orators, teachers, and my dear colleagues, a very good afternoon to you all. As a young person, I often wonder what my fate will be in the next 10 years. I wonder if I will ever achieve my dream of becoming a doctor. I wonder about job security. I wonder if I will be given an equal opportunity to pursue my passion through sustainable methods. This brings me to highlight the gist of my discussion, which is Parliament, delivering a more prosperous, secure, sustainable, and fair future for young people. Prosperous, secure, sustainable, and fair? This may sound impossible, but there are many young people with potential who can play a vital role in sustainable development and democracy. However, the question still remains. What has been done or what can be done to deliver this aspect successfully? The Commonwealth Secretary-General, Patricia Scotland, in her address at the Conference of Commonwealth Education Ministers meeting in Nadi on 19th February 2018, stated, and I quote, "We can help plan for a common future that is more fairer, more prosperous, more sustainable, and more secure that will meet the needs of all, particularly our young people," unquote. Yes, this can be delivered, but how can this be done? While we are inspired by the progress for education of young people, we must acknowledge the work that remains. First, a prosperous future for us young people. We may ask ourselves, what does it mean to have a prosperous future? Ladies and gentlemen, paving the way for a prosperous future means making sure they have access to opportunities to help them successfully navigate the transition from adolescence to adulthood. One possible way to do this, and something that is currently being done, is the provision of free education for all children. During the opening of the Parliament meeting earlier this year, the President of Fiji, Honorable Chiochi Kondote, stated, and I quote, "Our country has no greater assets for its future than its youth. And my government has put priority on giving every Fijian child the opportunity for a solid education. One that will help each one become a responsible and productive citizen with the means to lead a happy and fulfilling life," unquote. Fiji is a small developing Pacific Island country. We have a long history and a rich culture. However, the political, social, and economic indicators are at a mediocre level. And if we have to talk about reasons of such indicators, lack of education comes to mind first. I can write so well because I've learned how to write. I can read the Fiji Times because I've learned how to read. I'm familiar with the election process because I'm a secondary school student studying social science. I'm able to communicate with people of different cultures because I have learned English and so have they. I am able to express my ideas because I've learned how to think critically. We all are able to solve problems because we are educated. I must thank the government for its effort, for I, as a young person, am a living proof of the free education for all initiatives. Second, the notion of security. Feeling secure about the future means being able to find a decent job after getting a bachelor's degree. With such an uncertain future for young people who go to university, no wonder many have concluded that a degree is not worth accruing huge amounts of debt. During an interview with Fiji Sound on January 11 this year, the Minister for Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations, Honorable Chonel Samate, highlighted that there are many young people coming up from universities with degrees, but it was found that these young people could not find employment. According to the Ministry of Employment, during an interview with FBC News on 13 December 2017, while the national unemployment rate is 5.5%, the youth unemployment rate stands more than 3 times that rate. However, the National Employment Center, which has been set up, provide youth with avenues to find employment. Unfortunately, this may not still be enough, as more young people will seek employment every year. This is where all stakeholders, such as government, schools, community groups, right down to grassroots levels, need to work together to frame a secure future for our young ones. Dear audience, security is only possible when there is sustainability, which is the third point of my discourse. Mr. Al Ramahi, a renowned businessman from the Abu Dhabi Investment Company from the United Arab Emirates, said, and I quote, "To effectively plan and take action in delivering a sustainable future, we need to understand the hopes and concerns of today's young people," unquote. If you had to question a group of children on their view of sustainability, they would most probably come up with a different expectation regarding sustainable future. I, as a young person, would want a sustainable future where I can satisfy my needs without sacrificing resources and investment in education, so that in the future, I have a permanent job that will ensure I can support my family. As a young person, I do believe that today's decision and action does not only affect my future and my peers, but it would have the strength to radically change it to the best or the worst. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about young people and fair future for all, let us not forget our disabled brothers and sisters. Each and every child or youth, whether physically fit or disabled, have the ability to reach their full potential. But too often, society pushes them to the side. I salute the current government for their effort in promoting equality to our young people, irrespective of their cultural background, ethnicity, religion, disability, and gender. The provision of free grant for all students from preschool to year 13, free milk for year 1 in all primary schools, provision of textbooks, free transport assistance, more scholarships, more universities, more students in school than ever before, establishments of new technological college throughout Fiji, and mainstreaming of children with disabilities into primary and secondary school are some of the many initiatives that are currently being practiced just to make sure that no child is left behind in terms of education. Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe that every citizen should have a sense of responsibility towards the future of the youth. Today, being not only a global citizen, but also a student, I realize that I have a moral responsibility towards the sustainable future. As a young person, our voice matters. I repeat, our voice matters, and our words are starting to matter. The youths of today are the future of tomorrow, and we owe so much to this. In a nutshell, let me briefly state the focal ideas. As youth, a prosperous future for us means opportunities that will open up the gate to all youth in the future. For us, a secure future means being able to find a decent job after years of studying and struggling. Any youth would want a sustainable future where they can satisfy their needs without forfeiting the needs of generations to come. Any youth who is listening today would want a fair future where they have the ability to reach their full potential, irrespective of their different backgrounds. It is everyone's responsibility to embrace the needs of these young people and do whatever is necessary to create a better future that will benefit many generations to come. I will conclude with a contemplative quote by the former United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, who said, and I quote, "Only by ensuring opportunities that open the future to all youth do we create a better future," unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, conceptualize a Fiji where more young people will grow into well-educated adults. These young adults will be able to realize their full potential, which in turn will accelerate economic growth and development. Hence, a more prosperous, secure, sustainable, and fair future for young people. Thank you.